Hi, hello, welcome to my channel Madhu Talks. In this video, I am going to tell about communicable diseases. This is the part 2 of communicable diseases and the part 1 of communicable diseases కింద description లో లింక్ ఉంటుంది చూడండి. In case you have any doubts, can you please chat with me? And in this video I am going to tell about arthropod borne diseases, that is malaria, plague and filariasis. In this video first I am going to tell about malaria. Malaria is mostly occurs in tropical regions and malaria is also called as protozoan diseases. Malaria is transmitted by the bite of Anopheles and mainly female Anopheles mosquito. The incubation period of malaria is that 9 to 30 days. Causative organism of malaria is Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium malaria and Plasmodium falciparum. Mode of transmission is infection mainly spread by, first thing is droplet infection. Droplet infection means if a infected person is talking to the non-infected person, while talking the infected person mouth spreads a droplet on non-infected person. This is the droplet infection and direct contact is that while shake hand or hugging or kissing. Another thing, malaria mainly spread by three things: vector transmission or direct transmission and congenital transmission. Vector transmission is transmitted by a bite of female Anopheles mosquito. Or the second one is that direct transmission is by injections of infected blood or plasma. I'll give you the example for direct transmission is that if a infected person go to a hospital and taken an injection, but the doctor have some carelessness and the same injection which is given to the infected person, which is not checked by the doctor, is given to the non-infected person. This by this way also it can be spread. This is called as direct transmission. And the third one is congenital transmission. Congenital transmission means it can be spread by or from mother to infant. Signs and symptoms. In signs and symptoms, we have cold stage, hot stage, and sweating stage. In first one, cold stage, onset of fever with chills and sensation of extreme cold. When in cold stage, fever and chills are having and the sensation of extreme cold, which is the high level of cold, the person can sense it. The second one is that hot stage. Temperature rises up to 106, intense headache. In hot stage, the person who have infected can get 106 degree of fever and intense headache. Third one is sweating stage. By sweating, the fever will decrease. Prevention for malaria is that prevention mosquito bite, anti-larval measures and anti-adult mosquito measures, control of human reservoirs, use a spray containing permethrin on clothing, apply insect repellents regularly in cream or spray or gel form that contain diethyl toluamide. Use coils and mats impregnated with insecticide enclosed rooms to repel the mosquitoes. Anti-malarial drugs are used such as chloroquine. This chloroquine is also given to the corona patients after the age of 19, above the age of 19. And the last point for prevention is that malarial prophylaxis are taken. In this video I am going to tell about the next topic is plague. The causative organism for plague is an infectious disease that affects animals and humans. It is caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis. The bacteria is found in rodents and their fleas and occurs in many areas of the world, including the United States. Incubation period of plague is varies from 2 to 6 days. Mode of transmission for plague is plague bacteria on most often transmitted by bite of an infected flea. During plague episodes, many rodents die, causing hungry fleas to seek other sources of blood. People and animals that visit places where rodents have recently died from plague are at risk of being infected from flu bites. In this mode of transmission slide, I am going to tell that if any rodents or fleas or die at the particular place, if a human goes to it is not visible, it is decomposed in soil, but the bacteria is present at the soil, uh, by mistakenly or by whatever it may be, the human will go at that place, means it the bacteria will attack the human. By this, the mode of transmission will occur. Risk factors for plague is that risk factors plague include being bitten by fleas as well as exposure to rodents. Same thing I have told before slide. Scratches or bites from infected domestic cats are also a risk factor. Why the risk factor is being by a cat means the cats are roaming outside where the rodents are died. For cats also it is not visible, then the cats will bring the rodents fleas, and the cats you will touch it. By these you can get the disease of plague. So be aware to domestic cats. The next point is that contact with individuals with pneumonic plague is also a risk factor for acquiring the infection. The signs and symptoms of plague is that fever and chills, headache, muscle pain, general weakness, seizures, abdominal pain and diarrhea. In this video I am going to tell about briefly about plague. Types of plague is there are three basic forms of plague: bubonic plague, septicemic plague and pneumonic plague. First one is bubonic plague. The most common form of plague is bubonic plague. It's usually contracted when an infected product or flea bites you. In very rare cases, you can get the bacteria from material that has come in contact with an infected person. Bubonic plague infects your lymphatic system as a part of immune system, causing inflammation in your lymph nodes. Untreated, it can move into the blood, causing septicemic plague, or to the lungs, causing pneumonic plague. Symptoms of bubonic plague is that fever and chills, headache, muscle pain, general weakness and seizures. The second one is septicemic plague. When the bacteria enters the bloodstream directly and multiply, there it's known as septicemic plague. Where they are left untreated, both bubonic and pneumonic plague can lead to the septicemic plague. Symptoms of septicemic plague is that abdominal pain, diarrhea, nausea and vomiting, fever and chills, extreme weakness, bleeding, blood may be able to clot, shock, skin tuning, black, gangrene. About gangrene, I'll do the next video. By the next video you can get about it. Pneumonic plague. When the bacteria too of first infect the lungs, it known as pneumonic plague. The most lethal form of disease when someone with a pneumonic plague coughs, the bacteria from their lungs are expelled into the air. Other people who breathe that air can also develop this highly contagious form of plague, which can lead to an epidemic. Pneumonic plague is the only form of plague that can be transmitted transmitted from person to person. Symptoms of pneumonic plague is that trouble breathing, chest pain, cough, fever, headache, overall weakness, and bloody sputum. Prevention for the plague is fill holes and gaps in your home to stop mice, rats, and squirrels from outside getting into your house. Clean up your yard. Use bug repellents with DEET, diethyl toluene, to prevent flea bites when you are hike or at camp. Wear gloves if you have to touch wild animals alive or dead. Use flea control sprays or other treatment on your pets. In this video I am going to tell about the third topic is filariasis. The causative organism of filariasis is that the causative agent of lymphatic filariasis include the mosquito-borne filarial nematodes, Wuchereria bancrofti, Burgmallia, Burgii timori. An estimated 90% of lymphatic filariasis causes or caused by Wuchereria bancrofti, Bancroftium filariasis. Incubation period for filariasis is known as the period between the entrance of the infected larva into the human host and the presentation of clinical symptoms of observable signs. This period of time is completely variable and can be as short as 4 weeks as long as 8 to 16 months. Mode of transmission for filariasis is the disease spreads from person to person by mosquito bites. When a mosquito bites a person who has lymphatic filariasis, microscopic worms circulating in the person's blood enter and infect the mosquito. Risk factors for filariasis is that using mosquito nets while sleeping, using mosquito repellents on naked skin, prevent mosquitoes from breeding by removing stagnant water, wearing covered cloths, and avoid open footwear. Signs and symptoms. In most cases for filariasis there is no symptoms. Prevention for filariasis is that refrain from going at dusk or dawn where the mosquitoes that transmit filariasis are highly active. Cover yourself with long sleeves, shirts, and trousers. Refrain from spotting strong perfume or colony which can draw the attention of mosquito. Sleep inside an insecticide treated or plain mosquito nets. Thank you, and please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more interesting updates. Thank you.